Hey, Thunderpoke is here. Today, I'll recap or explain a romance thriller film from 2014, named Addicted. The film starts with Zoe Reynard, who seeks a confidential session with Dr. Marcella Spencer, a therapist specializing in sexual addiction. She shares the events of the past 6 months. Despite having a loving husband named Jason and a satisfying sex life, Zoe still feels unsatisfied. To deal with her dissatisfaction, she turns to watching pornography and using a vibrator in the bedroom. Zoe owns an art gallery company called Zoe & Co. She receives a brochure from her best friend and assistant, Brina, showcasing the work of Quentin Cosa. Intrigued, Zoe attends an exhibition featuring Quent's art and is captivated by his talent. Quentin, equally enchanted by Zoe's beauty, flirts with her during the event. They exchange contact information and plan to meet again. Zoe continues to engage in other illicit affairs, even going as far as dressing up to go to clubs while lying to her mother about going to the grocery store. One night, after Zoe makes love with Jason while shower, Zoe dreams about being intimate with Quentin. She visits Quentin's studio to discuss a contract for him to join her company. Quentin signs the contract without hesitation. As Zoe prepares to leave, Quentin tries to seduce her. Initially resisting due to her marriage, Zoe eventually gives in to Quentin's charm and allows him to perform on her. Zoe's sexual pursuits and subsequent guilt begin to impact her work and family life. She misses her son's soccer games and becomes absent-minded. When Brina informs her about a potential client, Balthazar Crane, who has been trying to set up a meeting, determined to end the affair, Zoe visits Quentin's place once again. There, she encounters a young woman named Diamond who is familiar with Zoe's name and offers to answer any questions about Quentin. Zoe locates Quentin and confesses that she can no longer continue their relationship because she is in love with Jason. Quentin then takes her to see some of his street art, revealing that he turned to painting as a way to cope with his father's suicide and his mother's abandonment. He expresses his longing for companionship, which leaves Zoe feeling guilty. Despite her guilt, they end up kissing and making love once again. In the present, Dr. Spencer diagnoses Zoe with severe sex addiction comparable to a drug addiction. He suggests that Zoe propose couples counseling to Jason. Zoe follows his advice and asks Jason if they can see a therapist to address their sex life, but Jason refuses, unwilling to pay for personal discussions. After another round of sex, Quentin implores Zoe to leave her husband and be with him, but she declines because she still loves Jason. However, this doesn't prevent her from going to a club and catching the attention of another man named Corey. They engage in sexual activity in the bathroom, and Zoe admits to enjoying it when discussing it with Dr. Spencer. This additional affair with Corey continues whenever Zoe cannot be with Quentin. As a result, Zoe's relationship with her son suffers as she misses his final soccer game of the season, causing him to lose trust in her. At work, Zoe's performance has declined significantly, leading her employees and Brina to notice and express their dissatisfaction. Brina confronts Zoe, criticizing her for letting a few clients slip away without seeming to care about the consequences. Zoe catches Quentin and Diamond engaging in sexual activity, which angers her. She storms out, leaving Quentin confused. Later, Jason confronts Zoe about her late nights and absence from the family. Zoe tries to blame Jason for staying late at work, but he defends himself by revealing her whereabouts. Zoe goes back to Quentin's place, but their intimate moment is interrupted by a knock on the door. Zoe hides as Jason arrives to meet with Quentin for business, unaware that they have already been involved in business together. While looking at Quentin's artwork, Jason accidentally discovers a covered painting depicting Zoe and Quentin in a sexual position. Before he can see it, Jason is called away by his partner. Zoe questions Quentin about whether he intended to prevent Jason from seeing the painting. Feeling excluded from her family's activities, Zoe is left behind when Jason takes the kids to the movies, and the kids themselves don't want Zoe to join them. Additionally, Quentin sends over a sculpture after Jason mentions Zoe's appreciation for his work. Following Dr. Spencer's advice, Zoe arranges a meeting with both Quentin and Corey to put an end to the affairs. Corey becomes annoyed and tries to push Zoe, but Quentin steps in. Corey decides to leave, but Quentin grabs a sculpture and hits Corey over the head with it. Quentin then approaches Zoe aggressively, but she breaks a glass on the floor, causing him to step on it and cut his feet. Zoe hides behind Quentin's paintings as he grabs a sharp object and starts chasing her. However, before Quentin can harm Zoe, Jason appears and hits Quentin, revealing that he knows about the affair. Quentin leaves, and Zoe follows suit, while Diamond enters to take care of Quentin. Zoe follows Jason and tries to talk to him, but he tells her that he is leaving her and taking the kids, and that she is dead to him. Devastated, Zoe decides to fulfill this claim by walking into the path of a car. Jason runs to her side. Over the next few months, Zoe is recovering in the hospital while her family worries for her. Her company officially closes its doors, and Diamond takes care of Quentin in his place in the hospital. Zoe has a flashback to herself as a girl being attacked by a boy, giving her the scar on her wrist. She eventually is able to go home, and her kids are happy to see her. However, Jason is still hurt and feels he can't keep pretending like everything is okay. Zoe goes to a sex addict support group that Dr. Spencer invited her to. There, Zoe opens up about a traumatic childhood experience where she was raped. Jason steps out from the next room to hear what Zoe has to say. She breaks down in tears and admits her problem, but she still loves Jason and wants to make the relationship work. He goes over to her and hugs her. They kiss and repeat their motto. And with that, the movie ends here. This is Thunderpoke, and I'll see you in my next video.